Okay, I'll go ahead and walk you through the first assignment on TinkerCAD now, as well as pretty much how you're going to do the other two assignments. First thing you want to do, of course, is log into TinkerCAD and click on Create New Design up here toward top left. It's going to give you a very stupid name up at the top left-hand corner. For the very first one, you want to erase it, replace it with Mr. Donnelly's puzzle. Spell my own name, wouldn't it? The next thing to see is down toward the bottom right-hand corner where it says snap grid. You see it's at 1 millimeter. The problem is, if you go back to the design brief, we're dealing with 3/4 inch blocks. So it doesn't need to be metric, it needs to be an English measurement. So we'll click on Edit Grid, change the units from millimeters to inches. We'll also change the size, because right now it's about 7.87 inches square. We're going to change that to 10 inches square. So you gotta manually erase 7.87, type in 10, make sure it's inches, update the grid. Then we'll go ahead and bring a box onto the workspace. Be sure it's a solid one here, not that striped one. That striped one is a hole. You don't want to start with that. Click and drag it onto the screen. So we see right now it's red, and length, width, and height are all set at 1 inch. Remember our design brief we mentioned a moment ago, we're dealing with a 3/4 inch block. So we want to change all these ones to 0.75. So that's all set. First of the 5 pieces we're going to build is going to be this black piece here. If you are at home saying, I have no idea what your puzzle looks like, how am I supposed to build this? And go in the notebook. Slide 37 essentially is what I'm going to walk you through right here. And on slide 38, there's a picture of the puzzle plan which shows all 5 pieces. But we're going to start out with the L-shaped piece here. First thing we want to do, once we have this set, is we're going to push it out of the way. Ideally, we won't have to make any more cubes, because this cube we can just click somewhere on it, and definitely not those white squares because that will resize it. Click somewhere on it, and just on your keyboard, press Control and the letter C. That's going to copy it. Press Control V and it's going to paste in a new cube. The new cube we're going to recolor, and to make it easier to see, instead of painting it black, I'm going to paint it dark gray. If you want to paint it black on yours, that's fine. I just think it's easier to see if it's dark gray to see exactly what you're doing. So we have that there. To make sure we save the color, I'm going to copy this cube, paste it in, move over, paste in another cube. We essentially want 3 cubes right in a row. I'm going to do it slightly differently than how I have it written on slide 37 because it shows you a very good technique you're going to need down the line. Then we'll press Control V, paste in one more. Now if you look at the shape, you'll see that we have to get this cube right here. Actually, that's coming up as a mirror image. We have to get this cube right here up. How we do that is this little black cone. Click and hold that cone and drag upward. You'll see the size of how high it's being lifted is pictured there. Right now we're at 3/8, so we want to go up to 3/4. Okay, we're there. Now I can move it into position. The problem right now is that TinkerCAD thinks this is 4 shapes, and we need it to think it is 1 shape. Here's how we solve that. Click and drag with your mouse till you put a square around those 4 cubes. Once you have that square done, right above the little shapes window here, you see what looks like a circle with the square with a circle being merged together. That's the group command. That's going to take those 4 shapes down to 1. Now I've got that set. When you assemble the puzzle, it assembles looking something like this. So we need to turn this piece, and that's where these little curved arrows come in. We're going to go to the top curved arrow here and click and drag it over to the left. Sometimes it'll move in nice even spaces, sometimes it doesn't. I personally tell you to just start moving it and then click on the number of the angle it's being moved. In this case, if it's at 67.5, we need it to be 90. see right now it's also below the surface. This is where that black cone comes in. Do we see the word? Do we see the letter 0 at the bottom there? Then we know it's in position. I'm gonna add something to it just so I can differentiate it. Screencast. Okay, I'm going to go back out to TinkerCAD and show you one that I've already done, because TinkerCAD 1, for that assignment, you're going to want to model the 5 pieces of my puzzle and then do a screenshot of it. The screenshot gets handed in. But for TinkerCAD 2, you're modeling the 5 pieces of your puzzle. And TinkerCAD 3, you have to assemble your puzzle. You don't have to assemble mine, but I want to show you how to assemble it just as practice. So the first 2 things we need to assemble my puzzle are going to be red and white. So I'll move the red piece over here. Then I'll move white into position just like that. Next one we need is yellow. I need to turn it 90 degrees clockwise. It needs to go up 3/4 of an inch. So that one slots in right there. Now green. Green I have to rotate 180 because it's upside down. And also turn it 90 degrees clockwise. I'm going to move it over to where it goes. I haven't raised it up yet. I will have to lift it. Just 3/4 of an inch, and there we are. We have 4 pieces done. I'll bring the black piece over. This piece never was rotated, so I need to move this one 180. Now it's ready to go in, and this puzzle is assembled. For TinkerCAD 3, you need a screenshot of your assembled puzzle. Mine, I would practice on. Do you have to turn that in? No, you do not. But practicing is really a good idea. As far as how I started with that, you can select the 5 pieces of your puzzle. Once it's done, you've got your screenshot. Copy them and paste them over to a different place in your workspace, and then assemble it. That's the easiest way to get it done. Again, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. I'll talk to you guys later.